Hello, Pontus. Hello, Cody. Welcome to our little fireside chat.
How's it going, fellas?
It's
Great.
going really, really well.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
We like to cast the net very far and wide, and the net has landed in central Mississippi. And our guest is Mr. Cody Russell. And we have discovered Cody because he is not only a YouTuber, but he is a real connoisseur of the talents of a Miss Angelina Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of came across Angelina. It was through a comment. I was reacting to a lot of other stuff, and I still react to a lot of other stuff, but I always leave my channel open for the subscribers because that's who it's central around. And somebody was like, hey, man, if you really like vocals and powerful vocals, check out Angelina Jordan. So it all started with that.
Yeah, I would like to thank that person who did that because I really enjoy your reactions. You're one of the few that I can really say is truly experiencing the music through how you look and what you say and how you feel. And I think that's a rare ability.
Yeah. To me, music is something that's supposed to garner all kinds of emotion. You're supposed to feel. Music is supposed to inspire you. It's supposed to drive you. It's supposed to make you want to be a better person. And I always tell all my subscribers, if you're listening to music and it doesn't make you feel anything, then why are you listening? Because in the end, music is a better version of ourselves, and we're supposed to strive to be better people. And I think Angelina's music really does that. It really touches a lot of people. And I've read stories about how this person was close to committing suicide or something like that, and they listened to Angelina Jordan, and it really turned their life around. And that stuff is powerful.
That's exactly why Pontus and I decided to start this podcast up, for the simple reason that people are having all of these transformative experiences with Angelina Jordan, and we wanted to talk about it. We wanted to let people know, hey, you're not alone. Other people are having this sort of reaction, and we can go so deep. People are having all these feelings that they're not used to, and there are 1,000 different reactions, and we've only done 20.
Man, her music, dude, is something else, because I've come in myself and was getting ready to do reactions a few nights, and there's some nights when you don't really, you don't like doing it. Even if you're feeling fine emotionally, you might not be there, or you might just be kind of not in the right headspace to do them. And I've sat down and been like, I don't really feel like doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what am I going to listen to? What am I react to? So I pull up Angelina Jordan, and every time I do it, man, it's just like this ray of sunshine comes in, and it just brightens up your whole day. And you're like, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. And that's just how she makes you feel, man. All this warmth inside you, and it just starts coming out. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. We've been heavy fans of hers for 18 months, both Pontus and I, and we still have that feeling. It doesn't wear off.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. Every time I react to her, I go in and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to hear. I'm going to hear some amazing vocals and all this, but I'm never prepared for the emotion. And like, I've gotten choked up, like actually teary-eyed and choked up because of the way she sings and the emotion that she sings with, and her deep connection to the songs when she sings them. Even if it's not her song, it could be a cover, but she has a way of tapping into the emotional side of it, and you really feel it here in your heart. It's special.
Yeah, and I think that the more you listen to her, the more emotional you're going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because something is transmitted when you listen to her. Something in her soul gets into your soul and affects you in a positive way, and you get more emotional. That is what I've experienced in a way, that my life after starting to listen to Angelina Jordan every day has made my life more emotional and more open to different feelings, and so it really is a way to do self-improvement, to listen to Angelina every day.
I think doctors should prescribe 5 Angelina Jordan songs a day to introverted people to make them less introverted, bring the emotions more to the surface.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. The more you listen to her, the more emotional you get with her music. I don't understand how it works. Like, I can't tell you like this psychological kind of thing, but it's just amazing, dude. It's like it emanates from her. You know what I mean? Like you said, it touches your soul, and it really does, because you're sitting there and you're like, I know it's just words, but it's more than that. It's more than words. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. And that's what I love about her music.
The very first time I saw one of your reactions was the first time you saw her, the A Million Miles video you saw. And I was so amazed over how fast you got her, how fast you could sense that this was somebody special. And I was wondering what is it? What's your background? Do you have a musical background or something like that makes you tuned into vocals?
Not really. I'm not professionally trained in nothing. I've been a bass player for years. I know how to play a bass, but I hadn't done that in years. I grew up in church. I go to church all the time. And I grew up singing in choir in church, but nothing like really professionally. But I don't know, man. I just always have had a passion for music and a love for music. And the first time I reacted to her, man, and I heard her, I was like, there's something about her that's different than anything that I've ever heard in my entire life. And because we're just so accustomed to hearing all the recycled music and different artists, same songs on the radio, muted to that, where I was like, no emotion when you're listening to music. And then I heard her the first time and I was like, wow, this is incredible. I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting incredible vocals, but I wasn't expecting the emotion that I felt when she sang.
Yeah. I actually have 2 clips that I've saved, and this is, I haven't talked to Alan about this, so he doesn't know. So this is like kind of an experiment, and I was wondering if it is okay for me to show you a clip from the very first time that you reacted to Angelina. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Are you with me, Alan, with that?
Yeah, carry on.
So this is the first time you listened to Angelina, and I just want to make a point of how fast you pause the video and start talking about how different her voice is. Let's go.
So we're gonna full screen this and see what this young lady brings to the table. So let's get this reaction started.
When I was a child, I walked the streets, they see me growing up, knew you were.
She has a completely unique vocal inflection. She has this characteristic to her vocal that is incredible. Almost like, I don't want to say an accent, but it accentuates her vocal. It makes it distinguishable. And once she starts singing, you're immediately gonna know it's her, and I love that. Her vocal is completely different from anybody else's on the planet, and that's amazing. And it's extremely and incredibly awesome. I've got to go back. I'm completely floored from the word go.
Cody, the key question I want to ask you is the way she makes you feel. Can you compare that to any other experience which could be similar?
I would say maybe the first time my firstborn son was born, the kind of emotion that I felt, that joy of seeing a new life being born, that's a miracle. That kind of emotion where it's just really deeply ingrained in you, and it takes a lot to pull that kind of emotion out of somebody. And that's an experience that I think you can compare it to. Just overwhelming joy and in awe of her greatness from the beginning. Like, I felt bad about pausing it so early in the reaction, because I've had people tell me after that, they're like, you really shouldn't pause it that soon into a reaction. You should let the song. But when you hear stuff like that, I say it all the time. I have to pause it and I have to go back. Because you're experiencing greatness, and when you experience greatness like that, greatness doesn't come around every day. Not like that. And you need to live in the here and now. So that's why I do that.
Yeah. Cody, you just gave us the title of this video. We're going to call it the feeling of when my first child was born.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, that's the way I feel, though. It's similar to that experience, that joy.
I really don't think you should listen to those those that makes those kind of comments, because it's a reaction video is what it is. And a lot of people can't really accept that. And then they should see something else on YouTube instead of a reaction video. I think it was great. You paused here, that was less than 10 seconds of singing and made that comment, which was like spot on. Like you saying that when she sings, you can pick her voice out easily.
Oh, yeah,
so
without a doubt. Yeah. Her voice is that distinctive. Yeah. And I love how she layers her vocal like that. You can get those little hints of her accent mixed in with it, and it just sounds so incredible.
Yeah. And also, a lot of reactors struggle with finding words to describe her abilities and her greatness. But I think you're doing a great job of putting it into words. I really do. So you should just continue doing what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know it looks better on camera when I'm talking about her, but there's a lot of times when I'm saying stuff and I know I'm saying stuff, but I don't have time to think about it. I'm just saying what I feel, because a lot of times I'll be sitting there and I'll rewatch my reactions when they premiere and I'm like, I don't even remember saying any of that. And it just comes to me.
Yeah. I think that's why you're so great, because you're natural and you go from your gut feeling. You don't think about it, you just do it. It's like an instinct, like you just tell it like you feel it. And that's a rare thing. People don't do that nowadays. We all have that filter and we think about it and, oh, I must rephrase myself, or I must rephrase what I say now. And I think in a reaction video it's good to not have that kind of filter.
Cody, when you keep going back to Angelina Jordan and you hear different songs that she's done, do you have different emotional reactions? Do you have different types of her songs give you different reactions?
Yes and no. I usually get this really really joyful warmth feeling. I know that's weird to say that, but that's what it feels like you're being comforted by somebody. If you've experienced a loss or something and you want to comfort somebody that's lost somebody, that's what I feel when I listen to her a lot of the times. Even though I'm not really experiencing any kind of negative or sad emotions like that, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm being comforted even though I don't need to be comforted.
That's a really good answer, Cody, because when she was 8 years old, she just came out and said that she wants to bring love to the world through her music.
Oh, yeah, I totally feel that.
And that's what you've just explained. And I'm telling you how she describes it from her end. And one of the most things completely remarkable for her fans is that, A, she has said that at such a young age. And it's remarkable she's able to achieve that. And everyone has a different experience of how they react. But it's something warm and it's personal and it's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, it really is. It's an amazing feeling. That's why every time I react to Angelina, I always walk away from the reaction feeling like I'm a better person. Like something that she's done or said in her music, or the way that she's emoted or emanated her emotion to me, is making me a better person.
That's exactly what Pontus and I had as the theme of why we put this podcast together. Because we wanted to talk about how Angelina Jordan makes us a better person. So that's spot on with how we originally came to do this podcast.
Yeah, pretty much anybody that listens to her music should feel that way. I don't understand, anybody that would want to hate on that, because why would you not want to feel that way? I don't understand people that think that way.
No, I think it has to do with those filters I was talking about, that some people have walls around their feelings.
Yeah.
And they don't want to show emotions. They don't want to let people inside of them in that way. And I think you have to have a certain level of openness about you to be able to receive what she is wanting to transmit to you.
I can totally feel that, because For a long time, I was that way. I was one of those kind of people. You could see me on an everyday basis and I would greet you and be the nicest person in the world to you. But inside, I'm like, I'm not letting you feel anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to show any kind of emotion, because the world has a tendency to make you that way. Like, you have to really be guarded on a daily basis, because you don't know what kind of situation you might get yourself into, whether good or bad. So I was always guarded that way. But ever since I've started listening to her music, man, it's really broken down those walls. And I feel like I'm a better person. I feel like I'm being a better father and a better husband to my wife because of that. Being able to reconnect with those emotions that I haven't used in a long time. And it's really liberating feeling in a sense.
Yeah. Cody, that's really well said, because one of the things that is secondary to what we're talking about is the fact that whether we're 20 or 40 or 60 or whatever age we are, we're still changing and we're still growing and we're still improving ourselves, whether we realize it or not. If you're a homeowner, you redo the kitchen or you put a new roof on, and it's the same thing inside. You're constantly making inner changes to your world just to improve yourself as a better person. And if Angelina Jordan experience can be part of that, more power to you.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's like I said, I just feel like it's making me a better person, because I'm feeling more emotion than I've felt in a long time. And it's a good thing, because music makes you feel emotion. You're supposed to feel emotion. But music also has the ability to heal, like any kind of wounds or deep scarred emotion that you might have buried deep within yourself. Music has the ability to be therapeutic that way and heal. And I love that about it.
I think actually we have to send this interview to Angelina, because if she could hear you speak now, I think she would be very, very happy.
That would be that would be amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, we don't have that connection.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I think this is actually what she wants to achieve with, I would say, art. Yeah. Because I think she is a true artist, and I know you have said so yourself. She is a true artist, and I think that is one of the key things she wants to achieve with her art, to lift us up as humans and to make this world a better place.
Yeah, I totally feel that. And I've said it in several of my reactions that I feel like, one, that she's a true artist, and two, she's a vocal painter. She creates masterpieces with her words and her emotions. And if you step back after you've reacted or listened to her music, you're like, wow, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
One of the things which completely intrigues me is that why over the last 100 years have been more artists and more singers who can do anything similar to what Angelina Jordan does? Why are there not more singers who you can hear over a period of time who change your emotional blueprint? So what she's doing is really groundbreaking. It's a total one-off. And I don't know any singer who's done anything comparable to that.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the reasons for that is because she don't do it for her. She wants the world to be able to love and feel hope again, and feel all those positive emotions. And a lot of the singers 100 years ago, now, and they're all in it for themselves, what they can get on elevating themselves. I think that's where the big drop off is, what you're talking about.
Yeah, good answer.
And I also think that's a clue to why she is shy in a way. When she stops singing, she goes from being super confident to being like almost surprised that, oh, did you find this good?
Yeah, she's really humble, man. She's very humble. Amazing. Yeah, I love that about her. I love the fact that she's so humbled that way, because artists like that, when they're that humble and that shy, they're very vulnerable. Especially when they're singing and they're emoting the way that she does, because she's bearing her soul to you when she sings like that. And that's a very sensitive way to be. It's very touchy, because they're exposing themselves to a lot of stuff that they're not used to. And I love that about her.
Yeah. I do like the way you put things. What do you do for a living? Are you a poet, or do you do philosophy? Or?
I'm not a poet. I'm actually a teacher. I teach classes. I'm actually just started my second semester of grad school. Working on my master's right now, and hopefully be teaching online classes at Mississippi State when I get done. That's where I graduated from. That's my alma mater, Mississippi State University. And so that's what I do. I teach.
So you teach jazz?
No, I've only taken a class, the history of jazz. I took it a couple semesters ago. It was a very interesting class. I've actually taken several music classes. I took the history of jazz. I took the history of blues. I took the history of rock and roll. So I've really done a deep dive into several different genres of music and had to write papers on it. So that might be where some of that comes from. But I've always had that really inbred passion for music and just loving listening to incredible music. You
should tell your teachers about Angelina Jordan, and that will change the curriculum.
Oh, yeah, we need to have an Angelina Jordan class at State, for real. I'm going to get with my counselor and be like, look, we need to teach Angelina Jordan 101, and it will help people out.
Yeah, but where do you start? You could do chronological, like you can start when she's 7, then 8 or 9, or you can just pick your top 100 songs and go down the list.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say that I would love to teach it, but I would feel like I would mess it up.
I don't think you have to teach it. All you have to do is display it. You have a class of 10 or 20 students, and you say, okay, listen to this. And then you can have a discussion group afterwards. And just like we're having a discussion group now, and we can say to you, how did it make you feel? And then you can go around to each of the students in the class and say, how did that make you feel? And then you can make a recording and send it to us, and we can broadcast it.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that. That would really be awesome.
So which age group are you teaching?
Right now, it is teenagers.
This is something which fascinates me because the demographics of the people who listen to her, that age, teenagers tend not to really listen to Angelina Jordan. Now, maybe it's the function because she chooses a lot of old style music, but even when she covers a song which is only 5 or 10 years old, she hasn't really caught on with the young generation. So when you do play Angelina Jordan to your class of 13 to 16-year-olds, do make a recording and send it to us, and then we can have some more understanding of why she hasn't caught on with teenagers yet. And then we'll send it to Republic Records, who signed her. They would really be interested in the findings as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they would be very interested to know. I don't understand that. I really don't, because her music's so incredible, man. She does have an old soul. Like, you can feel that when she sings, especially when she gets into the emotional side and she really taps into the song. When she first starts singing, you can tell that she's reserved because sometimes she'll close her eyes when she's singing. And I think that's her getting in the zone and really concentrating all her efforts into what she's trying to get into. But I love it. I just love seeing when she closes her eyes and it just gets really just intimate, like she's singing to you, and then you start really getting that emotion. It starts hitting you really hard, Yeah.
She talks about going into the zone, but she doesn't call it the zone, but she goes into her inner world, and it's almost like the outer world doesn't exist. She goes into this wonderful personal heaven when she's singing, and it really shows.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing, though. It really is. I just love seeing her progression throughout a song, too. How she'll start off singing softer tones, and then she builds up to this amazing vocal projection, and it just blows you away. You're like, wow, she can really hit those high notes. And I love that soulfulness that she has when she sings too. You really hear it.
A lot of the Angelina Jordan community talk about the rabbit hole, and that's one of the reasons you have a lot of Angelina Jordan fans who follow first-time reactors, and then they welcome them and they warn them about the rabbit hole that they're about to fall into head first and deep, and it's almost without a bottom. And a lot of people, for example, within a week will hear 30 or 60 Angelina Jordan songs they will binge. And then the more you binge over time, the more you realize what's going on. I have to redefine everything. And it's fascinating and fun. And a lot of people don't realize as it's happening, and then they're in free fall down into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I can totally understand that feeling. But like for me, I know I don't get a reaction up for her every day. It's because I have so many requests that I have to get to, and it's hard to get everybody worked into a single day. I would have to like film nonstop from the time I got up. But when I do her reactions, I'm like, why did I take a day off? Because her music's just that incredible, and the way she makes you feel when you listen to her music is almost more important than anything else anyway. You walk away feeling like you're a better person. Like something that you just heard is going to have a more impactful meaning on your life, and you have a better, clearer grasp of what you need to do to be a better person. It's really amazing.
I have a second clip that I want to show. It's the end of the latest of your reaction videos when you react to My Funny Valentine.
Oh, okay.
This is your sort of reaction to that song as you stop the song and have listened to it in full. Let's see this.
Oh my God. It was very emotional. It's so beautiful. And man, her ability to navigate her vocal pocket and be able to hit those high octave vocal runs like that and carry it with the projection. I mean, not with the projection, but with her that soulfulness and that, I mean, just soulful, bluesy with a little bit of rasp on top of that. Man, oh my God, dude. It just melts you, man, in your seat. I don't know. I don't know how you couldn't listen to that and not be emotional. I'm just floored right now, man. Like, greatness. Greatness, man. That's what you witness, greatness. And it gets you, man. It really gets you. Music, that's true music. That's true artistry. Music is supposed to make you feel emotion. Yeah, that song really hit me hard, and it wasn't really anything that she hadn't done before. Each song is different the way it hits you, and I was just so overcome with emotion in that. You've seen it on camera. I don't edit stuff out. A lot of reactors that edit their videos, I don't do that. All of mine are uncut, raw emotion. Because I feel like when you subscribe to me and you want to watch a reaction, that's what you want to watch is the reaction. Why are you going to cut parts out of it? Even if you mess up, don't cut parts out of it. I was just overcome with so much emotion because what I was hearing was incredible. It was greatness. Always with Angelina's greatness, but her ability to just really emanate those emotions to you, man, sometimes it's overwhelming. Like you seen in that clip, that it was just overwhelming me. And you really seen a real vulnerable side of me in that clip because I don't really show that to people. So that was a treat for the subscriber because that don't happen.
The beautiful thing about reactions is that when I see you being that emotional, it makes me be that emotional. So it's like a mirror effect that whenever I watch a reactor, those feelings come out to me and evoke those feelings in me too. So it's like Angelina is making me emotional, and the person that is getting emotional by Angelina also makes me emotional. So I think that's the beauty of reaction videos, really.
And Cody, if you go back and listen to that song again, it's very likely you'll have the same reaction again. You won't get used to it. And then what happens is after you hear it a third time and a 10th time, that emotion can be a more permanent feature in you.
Exactly. I can totally see that.
It really is a medicine.
Yeah. I watch all of my premieres, like when I premiere videos out, even though if I'm not in the chat sometimes I'll get in the chat and I'll talk with people when the premieres are going on, but a lot of times I just want to sit back and watch them and see what everybody's talking about in the chats and stuff like that, and see the different stories, because a lot of times people will put stories in there of how this song affected their life and how this song made them a better person, and I love reading that. But I don't know, it's just, I've went back and rewatched my reactions and I still get the same feeling all the time. And I've seen a lot of them multiple times, sometimes more than 10 times, because I like looking at myself react and then I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, I still feel that way. Like, it's just an amazing thing. It really is.
Yeah, I can listen to one of my favorite Angelina songs. She made an album when she was 12. It's called It's Magic, and there are a lot of classic songs there. And when I listen to those, I know what I'm going to hear, but still, it's better than I even can imagine. Mm-hmm. And that is the crazy part of it, I think, that her voice is better than I even can imagine just before I listen to it.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Because each time I go into a reaction, I'm like, I know what I'm going to hear, but I'm never prepared for the emotion. And I don't think you can be, because of the way that she emanates emotion to you. And it just hits you like a ton of bricks. And you're just like, wow. It really just puts you back in your chair and you're like, this is incredible.
Thank you, Cody. You have been a revelation with how you've explained your inner world and how you've explained your reaction. And we look forward to getting your recording where you introduce Angelina Jordan to your teachers and to your students. And that will be the next podcast that we do with you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you ever so much.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, this was incredible by even being asked to come on this podcast, because her music's amazing and I'm going to react to it anyway, but this is just a bonus. And meeting incredible people like y'all, it's a plus.
We did ask you to be on the podcast, but only after you contacted us and said, pretty please, can I be on your podcast?
Yeah, I was just like, I thought I would like to do it, but I appreciate y'all reaching out though. It was really nice.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. You take care. We'll be in touch.